Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully complete our logging portions, right? So now that is our sign up page, that is a logging page, and also we successfully complete our logout. So in this video, I want to discuss about like if you already access here we load one of the form. We load one of the with our user creation form, right? Into the user creation form, it's actually providing three of this field. One is the username, another is a password, and the confirm password field, right? That is a password too. So by default we get three of this field, but here if you want to add another external field like for our this user registration, I want to add another field for the email. So how can add that another field, that means another custom field in our this sign up page? Okay, so how can do that work? In this video I will show you that things with a live example. So it's pretty much easy things like here right now that is our URLs, that is our base HTML. So right now I just simply remove it. Okay, so that is in our app logging, and into the app logging area, if you want to create some of the custom form, then you have to create one of the page. So I just click as a new file and I just name it as a forms.py. So that is our forms.py, and into the forms.py area, first of all you have to load some of the class. Like here, first of all, from Django, from to the Django, I have to input our Django forms. So I just simply load our Django forms, and then also I want to load our this user, that means this user creation form. So better, I think you already remember it, I have already loaded it before. So that is in our Django, and then the contrib, right? The contrib and the auth, and then the forms, and from here you have to input our this user creation form. So as I told you, with this user creation form already we get some of the specific field, that is our username, password, and the password too. And also I want to input our user class. So here if you go to again, so from the user class they have the some of the field. So it's also provided that user class also provided that email, right? So now I want to actually access add our this email in our this form area. So that is our user. So right now, first of all, we have to also load it. That means we have to input it. That means from, and that is in our Django, and then the contrib. So that is our Django contrib, and then auth, and then the models. So from to the models, I want to input our user class, right? So I have already discussed about that things with you, friends. So that is our user class. It's actually providing 5 of this field. So that is our 5 of this field. If you go to our admin panel, into the admin panel also here you can see it's now showing as the username, password, first name field, last name field, email. That means that is our user, one of the database table, by default one of the Django table, and into this table there have the 5 different fields, right? So now I want to actually access our this email field, and this email field name by default as email. So now I want to add another additional field in our this form area. So for the reasons I simply import it. So now I want to create one of the class. So I name it that class as a sign up. Okay, I name it as a sign up form. So this type of one of the form, and here also we have to load first of all that our user form, that means user creation form. I just simply load it. Okay. And then I want to add our additional field. So I want to add the email additional field. So I just take one of the variable as email, and into the email area that will be in our forms. So from the forms, that means that is our Django forms. Into the Django forms area, with this I want to add the type. Our this type will be as a email field type, right? That will be as email field. So there's another one of the type as email field. So I just added it will be as email field type, and also I make that as a required. So required will be as a true. So I make it as a true. That means this field will be as a required. Okay. And also I want to create another class. That means inside this class I want to create another class. It should be as a meta. So I name it as a class. It should be as a meta class. Okay, into the meta class area I want to add our model. That means first of all that is the user I want to use, right? So that is our user class I want to use. So for the reasons here, I just name it with the model. So our model, and to the model area I load our this user class, that means this user class, because from to this user class I want to get our this email, right? So here I just simply added our user, and then I have to add that our fields. So whatever the field you want to display, you have to add that field in particular that area. So I name it as a fields, and fields will be like as a, first of all, it will be as a username. So that all that actually field comes from our user creation, and that if you go, so for the user, from here I want to take out this email field, and also for the user creation, that is our user, where it is. So that is our user creation, and into the user creation here you can see there is a field name as a username, as a password 1, password 2. So now I want to actually add all that field, that is a field, and then I want to add another one. It will be as email, that is a default one. So here I want to use it, and also I take another one as a password, and another, that means the password 1, right? You can see this field name as a password 1, and also another one is a password 2. So now I want to also add it. It will be as a same, it will be as a password 2. Perfect. So now here we have to update our this form. That means here I loaded our this form. For loaded this, here I have already created one of the function, right? So into the view, area I have created one of the function for the sign up. So that is our sign up. So into the sign up area, before I have used directly our user creation form. So with this user creation form, we get the 3 of this field, that is our username, password, and the confirm password, right? So right now I customize it in our forms. So here I customize it with our this class, that is our sign up class. So now we have to use it. Okay, that means this class area I have added username, email, our another password 1, and the password 2. So now I have to update it. So that is will be our sign up form. So into the particular that area, so I just simply update it. Okay friend, and I just take the things with this variable, and here I just simply pass it in our dictionary area. So it will be just like the same. And also here there is our form, there is our data request. So here also we have to update as a sign up form, that is our custom class. So I just simply update it on here. I hope it's very much clear to you. So if you want to use it, first of all, also you have to load our this form, right? So that means here we have to import it. So that is from our which place, that is from our app logging, and that is our forms, right? So from here we have to add it as a app logging, and from to the app logging, I have created one of the 5 pages, and that means one of the page as a forms. So from to the forms I want to input from our app logging forms, I want to input our this class, that is our sign up class. So now I just simply add our sign up class, so that the sign up class is visible in our form and also into the form area, and then the rest of this will be just like that same. So now if you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, so now here you can see friend, that is our another field is added as the email address, that is username, email address, password, and the confirm password. And also that is actually view another one, that means that is actually our field is a required. So I make that as a required in our that is our form. Into the form area, you can see I name it as an email, so it should be as an email. Actually I make that as a capital. So now if you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, you can see it's now perfectly gone. So that is our email field, and you can see this email field is the required, right? So I make that email field as a required, and also here if you want to put some of the level, you can add that level. I show you, like you have to add as a level, and I just to make that level name, I make it as a email address. So I just name it as an email address. Okay, now if you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it again, yes, you can see that our level is updated as a email address. Perfect. So now that is our username, email address, password, and the confirm password. So friend, I hope you can well understand about it. So this username and the password and the confirm password actually comes from our which place? That is comes from our user creation form, right? And also from our user here, from here I want to get our specific one of the field ID. So that will be our email. So for the reasons in our field area, I want to access our email field. That means in our that is, if you go to our admin, into the admin for the user, they have one of the field as the email address. So this field name as the email. So now I want to actually use it with our this user class, right? So for the reasons you can see it's automatically updated, and in our view area I just simply updated our form. So right now there is our custom form I have created as a sign up, and I just simply updated it on here, and now we can see everything is updated. So that is our username, email address, password, and the confirm password. So now I want to create one of the page for the profile, like that means this user profile. That means in our template, so the template in our app logging here, I want to create one of the new file, and I just name it as a profile.html. okay, so that will be our profile.html, and it should be just like that same. Here better I just copy it. Okay, better I just copy whole things from here, and I paste it in our profile. It should be extended our base HTML, and here we don't need any form. I remove it. So that will be our title. It should be as a profile page. Okay, it should be as a profile page, and then our blog body. Here we don't need any form, and I want to visible some of the name as your profile. Okay, it should be show as your profile. And also here if you want to display all that your name, that means the email address, I put one of the p tag as a username. If you want to visible it, that will be with our user model. So here I want to actually use our users. I have already used it. So with this user, that is all that our field. You can see that is a username field, the password, email, first name, and the last name. So if you want to visible it, you can visible it with the user. So with the user you can visible that username, that is a default one, and also I want to visible our email, that means user email, and email will be our email field, right? And then the user here, name it as a name will be as a two part. That will be one of the first name, that is our field name, as a first underscore name and the last underscore name. So I name it as a first name, and also after that I take our another field, that means our database table field, as a last name. So now I just copy it, and here I want to update it as a user last name. Perfect. So now for view this our profile HTML, we have to create one of the function, right? So that is our view. Into the view area I want to create another function, and also if you want to access this our profile function, this user must have the logging, right? That means first of all it should be as a logging required. I hope you can well understand about it, because of all after that user logging this user, then our profile will be visible, right? So that means this user must have to be logged in. So for the reasons I make that as a logging required, and then I create one of the function as a dev, and then I name it as a profile, whatever you want. Right now I name it as a profile, and then we have to pass that request. And first of all I want to return one of the page as a return, and there with the render I want to pass out two of this parameter. One will be as a request, and also another will be our file. So I have created one of the file in our app logging. Into the app logging I have created our profile.html, and also I want to pass our context data, because here we have to also pass some of the dictionary data later. So now I make it as a context, and here I pass that dictionary. So make that right now I have no data, for the reasons I make it as empty. And also I want to add another our menu. So that is in our base HTML. Into the base HTML I want to put that menu. So it should be as a logging required, right? So for that when this user will be logged in, then our this profile menu will be visible. So that will be as a profile. And also I want to create in our app logging, I want to create one of the path, that means one of the route path as a profile. So that is our profile. So now I want to actually create this URL. So that is in our app logging, and that is our URL. So right, so here we have to create it. I just simply copy and paste it. It should be as a profile. It should be as a profile. And then in our view area, I have created one of the function, our function name as a profile, right? So now I just simply copy, and here in our view, it should be profile, and I name it as a profile. And also in our base HTML, into the base HTML, I load our app logging and then our profile, right? So it's now perfect. So now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, first of all, I have to check it. Yeah, everything is running well. And now go to our site, and right now go to our home. I refresh it. Right now I'm logging. You can see it's not showing because of all I already declared that when this user will be logging, then this profile menu will be visible, right? So I just name it as a username, as a test, and then password udemy12345. Now click as a logging. Yes, you can see now our profile is visible. That means our profile menu is visible. So if you click as a profile, yes, you can see our profile page is now successfully loaded. So here for this user, I have already added that username. For the reasons here, you can see it's now showing that only that username. So I didn't add any first name and the last name, and also I didn't add that email. For the reasons you can see, it's now make that as a blank, and also it's blank on here. So here in our profile HTML, I loaded our username with this user, our field as a username, email, and then our first name and the last name. So when we'll put that your email address and the first name, last name, then it should be visible in particular that area. So here if you want to change it, like here if you right now they have no field for the email or first name, the last name. So I want to actually change this profile. So if you want to change that, they have also another building, one of the class. I show you. There is another class as a password reset. So that is our user change form. You can see there is also one of the another class as a user change from class. So with this class, we can actually update this field. Okay, that means we can actually update it. So how can do that work better? I want to continue this process. In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.